turned up to our house and said that he was selling the house. Our visa runs out in 6 months' time. We're really excited to drive across the country, moving our whole life over there. So we have talked about moving to Australia. Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, then a very big hello. My name is Louise. Me and my partner Jake moved from the UK to Canada a year and a half ago, December 26, 2019. Today I am bringing you my 1 year and 6 month update. If you haven't already, I really recommend going to watch my 6 month update and my 1 year update, just so you know what's going on. If you're new around here, I update you in both those videos of my first apartment here in Canada, my first job, our first car. It's all in that information. So if you're new here, I definitely recommend you going to watch those videos first, so you're all caught up, ready for today. So yes, me and Jake have officially been here a year and a half, which just blows my mind. So yeah, sorry if you can hear noises in the background. I have got my front door open because we're in June, which means it's so hot. It's 9 AM and I think it's already like 27 degrees. So yeah, it's absolutely boiling today. So if you can hear noises in the background, it's our neighbours doing their garden. So I'm gonna just talk through what's been going on for the last year and a half, mostly what's been happening in the last 6 months, because I did give you a 1 year update. And then at the end, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A. I love doing a Q&A at the end of my update videos because you've always got great questions for me. So right at the end, I'm gonna do a Q&A. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go and follow me. I always ask you guys if you have any questions over there, and that's the way that you can interact with me. So I think the best place to start is obviously our house. Now in my 6 month update, you've seen that we moved into a 1-bed apartment. In my 1 year update, you've seen that we moved into a 4-bedroom house. So much went on in the space of a year. And now a year and a half into our journey, we are still in our 4-bedroom house that we moved into last year. We absolutely love this house so much. Like, it's just the right size for us. We've got a lovely back garden, and I'm just gonna say now, if you are looking at properties when you're moving over to Canada, I really recommend you getting a backyard, because from June right through to the end of September, the weather is honestly gorgeous, and we have had barbecues near enough every evening for dinner, and I really recommend a backyard. And I can't imagine being in an apartment anymore, because just the extra space is needed. I just want to say a little tip: if you are moving into a house, something that we learn at Christmas time is if you have a walkway in front of your house, you have to shovel it. So if it snows, you have to shovel the snow from your walkway. Like, the council doesn't do it, the government doesn't do it. You're actually liable for your walkway, and if it's not done, you can actually get a fine. Someone can knock on the door and give you a fine. So that's just a little tip for all you Brits moving over to Canada. You are in charge of the walkway in front of your house, so make sure you shovel it. So I recommend not getting a corner house, because you'll have two walkways to shovel. So just staying on the topic with house, this was actually a question in the Q&A, and it was, what was me and Jake so flustered and upset about a few months ago. So if you don't watch my vlogs, I took a short break in my vlogs just because we had some personal stuff going on in our life, and it was actually to do with our house. So our landlord is absolutely amazing. I have no complaints. And one day he turned up to our house and said that he was selling the house. As long as they give you, I think it's 2 months notice, they are able to sell their house or ask you to move out. Now for me and Jake, this was a huge shock, because 1, we literally moved into it a few months before. 2, we absolutely love this house. Perfect destination. It's literally a 6-minute drive to our work. It's right next to shops. It's like in the prime location that we wanted to be in. It's for an amazing price. If you've watched our cost of living video, you'll know all what we pay, but our monthly rent is $1,600. So when we got given this news, we were so devastated, to say the least. And it was also really hard. Like, immigrants moving over to a new country, we have no friends, we have no family. So to be able to find a new house within 2 months, not relying on going to our family members to live until we find somewhere, we couldn't do that. We had to physically look for a new place. Our visa runs out in 6 months time, and I'm thinking nowhere is going to accept us because you have to have at least a year on your visa to get a house, so they know you're not going to run away. And I was literally, we were so stressed, it was unbelievable. So after we got given that news, we started searching for a new house, and then me and Jake were thinking, if we're going to move and we've only got 6 months left of our visa, why not enjoy that 6 months and literally move to a completely different province and enjoy life somewhere else for 6 months, because we want to experience everything. So we started looking at Alberta. We loved that the minimum wage was higher in Alberta, the tax was low in Alberta, the house prices was crazy low in Alberta. It was definitely more of a country style over there, and we literally fell in love with it. Like, we were looking, I would say, for 2-3 days straight at houses in Alberta. We both went to our workplaces and asked if we could be transferred to Alberta. They said yes. So literally, everything was on the cards to move to Alberta. So that's why we took, I think it was 2 weeks off of social media, because in our head we had to get every bit of furniture over there in a U-Haul. We had to drive there, we were getting ready to move. And then 2 weeks later we get told the house is no longer selling and they're keeping the house so we can stay. So we had a very stressful 2 weeks of thinking we're completely moving province with all of our stuff. We were actually really excited. We were like, everything happens for a reason. We're really excited to drive across the country, moving our whole life over there. And then we got told we don't need to worry because the house is no longer getting sold. We can stay here. And we decided, okay, even though we did all that research, we will stay because we've both got amazing jobs over here. We love this house, like we said. Yeah, so that brings us today. We're still living in this house. Me and Jake have talked about it, that we may buy this house off of our landlord one day if we get permanent residency. Now, this house is extremely old. It needs definitely a lot of work, and we would never buy it until we get someone out and look at the whole grounds of it, making sure it's not collapsing, etc., because then that would be even more expensive. But if the what does Jake call it, the foundations are all good and everyone gives us the thumbs up that the house is good, it just needs a lot of work inside the house rather than outside the house, then yeah, this is definitely something that we are considering if we get permanent residency. That we feel like there's so much to be done with this house. Every day me and Jake was like, how cool would it be if we do this, if we knock this wall through, if we build a garage. And even though it's not going to be our dream home and it's not going to be our forever home, we can see a lot of potential in this house to do up and then eventually rent to then buy our dream home. So yeah, we're staying in this house as of today. And our dream is to save to get enough money to put a deposit down for a private buy with our landlord. And that's the dream basically with the house. Okay, so now moving on to our jobs. If you watched my 6-month update, you would know I had an office job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday in a call center. I left due to COVID. The office got closed down, so I no longer had a job. I was made redundant, and then I got a job in a retail store, a supermarket of Walmart, and I absolutely loved my job there. And then I made my way up to manager there for a team of 60 on the online department. And if you watched my recent vlogs, you will know I have now left Walmart. So in my other update videos, I didn't let you know what company I worked for, but now I've left, I can tell you. So I worked as a department manager for the online department in Walmart. Going into that job was the best idea I have had. I always thought moving to Canada, I wanted a stress-free life. I wanted a Monday to Friday job, 9 to 5, have the weekends off. But I couldn't be any more wrong. I'm one of those people who is go, go, go all the time. I love retail. I love a huge team. So I definitely I'm more suited to big companies, and getting a job in Walmart was honestly the best thing for me. I have met the most amazing friends ever. I had a team of 60 associates, literally just on my department. So within the whole store, there was like hundreds, I think it was like 200 and something. And everyone in my department was around the same age. And it was so nice. Like, I go for weekends at my friend's house for like food. And yeah, I absolutely love my friendship group from Walmart, and I've definitely seen them after I've left, and they're going to be friends for like the rest of my life. I think as long as I stay in Canada, I will be seeing them on the weekends. So I absolutely loved my job. It was definitely a go stressful time while I was there, because obviously COVID, everyone's ordering online, and that's my department, so I was constantly go. I was never actually looking for another job. It just so happened that Jake bumped into an area manager from another company while he was in his work, because he works in the outlet mall, and they were looking for like supervisors, assistant managers. So Jake gave him over my number, and I got a phone call, and then I got an interview. It all happened so quickly, and then he offered me a position for more money that I was on in my current job. And it was for a company I absolutely love. And I just felt like everything happens for a reason. Even though I wasn't looking for a job, even though I love my current job, this job is honestly like just come to me at the right time. And yeah, I felt very blessed getting offered this job, and of course I said yes. So that means I left my Walmart job, I left all my amazing friends there, and now I started 2 weeks ago now. I'm on my second week, and I absolutely love it. So it's in retail, it's in the outlet mall. It's not a 9 to 5 job at all. It's different hours every day, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I love the brand, I love the company, I love everything about it. I'm not going to say what company just because I don't want everyone to know, but if you ever go to the outlet mall and see me, hello. Yeah, I absolutely love my job. My manager's incredible. The area manager is just so nice. And yeah, I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I can see myself being in this job forever now. Like, I cannot see myself leaving here. And I know I said that with my last job, but I'm serious about this one. Like, honestly, I can see myself working my way up, and it's definitely in a company that I want to progress in, and I'm really happy there. So yeah, so that's me with Jake. He stayed in the same job ever since he got here. And I just want to point something out, like, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but when you move to Canada, you apply for millions of jobs. Like, well, we did, like the first week we applied for, I couldn't even remember, like every day we're applying for like at least 10 to 20. And the right job will come to you at the right time. So Jake had an interview for 7-Eleven, and it was like the overnight guy in 7-Eleven. And I'm not disrespecting 7-Eleven at all, but obviously you don't need many qualifications for that. It's overnight, so you really don't need to be that good with customer service. And he actually didn't get that job. So after all of his like years experience as being a manager, and he's a very approachable, nice person to talk to in interviews, he didn't get a job in a 7-Eleven, which was on minimum wage, but he kept like interviewing for jobs, and now he's an assistant manager of a huge company. So it just shows that you just got to keep trying, and the right job is out there and you will get it. Saying that, Jake did get a promotion within his job. He's still in the same company, but he was actually a supervisor before, and now he's an operations assistant manager. So he is doing incredible. Like, honestly, I'm so proud of him. He's doing amazing over here. He's literally striving, and I can only see like good things for him in this company as well. But I don't want you guys to be put off by this and saying like, oh my god, you guys have walked into Canada, you've got amazing jobs straight away, because I really didn't. I started off in an office job, I went to another job, I got promoted in that job. Like, I'm actually technically on my 4th job, and I'm only a year and a half in. So trust the process, and you will get there eventually, trust me. Moving on to our car. So I don't think we had a car in our 6-month update. I think we literally got it around the 6-month mark. But in my 1-year update, I did update you guys. We do have a car. It's a 4x4. If you watch my vlogs, you'll have seen it. It's a Honda CR-V. It comes with a little a 1999 model. It's super old, but it comes with like a picnic table in the back. I absolutely love our car. We have just gone through our first winter with our car, and oh my God, I'm just gonna tell you now, you need a 4-wheel drive when you come to Canada. Write this in your notebooks, 4-wheel drive. So our neighbors, either end and opposite us, don't have 4-wheel drives. And I would say Jake was out there 3 times a week, help digging them get their car out. They were literally, the snow was above the tires, because they were small cars as well, and there was just men from the street. There was men just literally digging the cars out. And in our car, 4-wheel drive, 4x4, slightly higher than all the other cars, just drive straight out onto the road. And we didn't even think about that when buying a car. We didn't even think we need a 4-wheel drive, we need a 4x4. Like, we just bought it because it was cheap and we liked it. And now we will never ever not buy a 4-wheel drive or a 4x4. Talking about cars, Jake really wants to buy a new car. I keep telling him we have to wait until we get permanent residency. Even though we absolutely love our car, we do technically want to, just because we work at different times. And I said I will happily take that car off of him if he wants to get another one. But when we go along that whole buy-in process, then I will take you guys with us. Because if we get permanent residency, we're not just gonna buy a car like we did this time. We're gonna go down like a finance route or with the bank and get a nice newer car. Not a brand new one, but a slightly newer car. We're looking at a Jeep Wranglers. We're looking at the Porsche 4x4s, and we're looking at some trucks as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going now. I really want a Jeep, but we will go car shopping, but I'll take you guys with us for that. As soon as we get permanent residency, that's kind of like the next step, saving a house and buying a new car. And the last thing I just want to touch on is obviously our visa. As you know, I've talked about it, we're 1.5 years into our IEC visa. We came over on a 2-year work and holiday visa. That is the max amount of time you can have on this visa. And we're 1.5 years in. We have 6 months left of this visa, which kind of gives me a heart attack thinking about it. It gives me such bad anxiety that we only have 6 months left of this visa and we don't have permanent residency yet. But we are in a pool. So when you're going through the next process, it's called a pool that you have to wait in. And we applied for the new visa that came out recently, and it's called TR to PR. And what this means is if you've worked in a retail, well, there's lots of jobs, but the one that we went down is we worked for the last year during the pandemic in a retail store. We did the right amount of hours, which means that we could apply for this emergency visa that just came out. They were given out, for our particular visa, they were giving out 30,000 spaces. We were number 250 and 251 to apply. We applied within the first 20 minutes. We paid for an immigration consultant to do it, and now we're just waiting to hear back. In the last 2 weeks, people have started to hear back that applied within the first 10 to 15 minutes. We applied in the first half an hour, so we are, fingers crossed, gonna be hearing back in the next few weeks. I was hoping by this video that I would have heard back. That's why I was holding off for so long, because I really wanted to be like, we've heard back in a 1.5 year update. But the realistic side of it is that we still haven't. We're still stressed, we still don't know what's going on. But as soon as I know, you guys will know, trust me, because I'll be so excited. But that is the route that we're going down, is get permanent residency to stay here, and then after that apply for citizenship, which I believe you have to be in the country for 5 years. And we've already done 2, so we just have to do another 3 and then apply for citizenship. So that is our line that we want to go. That's the journey that we want to go down. It was a lot of money for permanent residency. I did say I'll do a whole different video on how much it cost, broken down, but for 2 of us it took over 5,000 Canadian dollars. It was a lot of money for them to turn around and say no to us if that does happen. But I can't see that happening. We follow all the right criteria. We've got our police check, our outs test, our medical. We've worked for the last year during the pandemic. Now, if they turn around and say no for both of those and it comes to December and we still haven't got it, Then we have talked about a few other options. We definitely don't want to stop traveling yet, as we both don't have kids yet. We just think it would be silly to go back and settle down in England. So we have talked about moving to Australia. So Australia has just currently changed their age. So you can stay over there and get a work and holiday visa if you are under the age of 35. It was originally 31 or 30, and Jake's an oldie. Jake turns 31 in September, so that was definitely going to be like a no-go as well. But now they've currently extended it to 35. That is definitely something that we will consider. If we don't get permanent residency over here, then we will move over to Australia. I don't know how Jake's going to cope because he hates spiders. But yeah, we are thinking about moving over to Australia and going to visit Australia for a few years, and then maybe settle there if we can't settle here. So I didn't want to make this video too long, but I just realized I've been chatting for a long time. So I'm just going to move on to my Q&As. Like I said, if you're not following me over on Instagram, go and follow me. It's Louise and I 94, because I always put up question box. I'm always in my messages as well, so if anybody has any questions, I do try and reply to you if I'm not working. So some of them I've already answered within this video. For example, a lot of people ask what's the latest update with my PR, and I've just answered that for you guys. I haven't heard anything. Do you think you could have done this experience alone if Jake wasn't with you? A lot of people actually who message me are traveling over here alone. And I'm just going to be real with you guys. I'm just going to be honest and say you need to save more money. So if it was just me on my own, I wouldn't have been able to rent the apartment. I wouldn't have been able to get this house. I would have probably been in like a student house share, because I think for one room in a student house is around 300 to 400 Canadian dollars. As a house and an apartment, it's 1,200 a month. And I wouldn't have been able to do that by myself. That would have took all of my wages away, but because it's split between two people, I've been able to do that. So if you're coming over on your own and you don't want a house share, then you're gonna have to bring like double the amount of savings. So I bought 2,500, Jake bought 2,500, so we had 5,000 each in pounds. But if I was coming over by myself, I would have needed £5,000 on my own. It is manageable 100%. Like all of my friends from my old job, they've all come here by themselves and they've all managed it. It's definitely manageable. So what happened to you and Jake a while ago? You were off social media. I told you guys the house was getting sold. We were moving to Alberta and now we're still in St. Catharines. Consider moving to another part of Canada? Yes. Well, not now, I don't think. Now that we both have incredible jobs, the only thing I think that would move us is if our jobs asked us to move. So if we got a promotion somewhere else, then we would move. But I think we're happy here now, and we've got so many goals here in St. Catharines. Before Jake's promotion and before my job offer, I would say we would have gone to Alberta within the next year, 100%. We fell in love with it when looking for it. But now we're settled. We're both in amazing jobs. I would find it pointless to move, to be honest. What do you enjoy the most about Canada? What I enjoy most about Canada, and this changes all the time if you watch my 1 year update and my 6 month update, what I enjoy about Canada at the minute is the hikes. I'm absolutely loving the hikes. So we actually haven't gone on that much this year because of the changeover, job, COVID, etc. But me and Jake try and go on hikes, I would say once a week on our days off basically. We've been to a few new ones recently, down at the Whirlpool and the Rockway place. And yeah, today we're actually heading off to a strawberry field. I just feel like there's so much to do here. Like honestly, I'm on Instagram every day and something else will pop up that's like in Niagara on the lake, and I'll be like, oh Jake, can we go do this? Can we do this? And I just feel like it's like endless amount of stuff that can be done in Canada. Cars, lease, finance, insurance, help. I think a lot of people are finding it hard to understand buying a car over here. I can definitely do another car video with Jake because he's definitely more, has the more information on the cars than I do. But yeah, once we get a car on finance or whatever, we're gonna go down, then I'll do an in-depth video with Jake with that, because I think it takes a lot more to have than a few seconds on this video. So I think it needs a whole video dedicated to it. If you haven't watched it already, then go watch my car video, but there'll be another one coming once we get a new car as well. Wildlife, bears, cougars, snakes. How would you manage this? So we're in Ontario, down the bottom of Ontario, not up north. So we are very lucky with wildlife. I say lucky, I will go on to tell you a few stories. So I don't know if it's just this area or Canada in general, but skunks are huge over here, and it's not always the best thing because they smell. So we now live in the basement, not live, but we sleep in the basement of our house. It's a lot cooler down there, and we sleep with the window open, and the amount of times we have woken up early hours of the morning to quickly shut the window because the smell is awful, and it apparently lingers on you for 2 weeks if it gets onto your skin or your clothes. I had someone off of work because they were sprayed by a skunk and they were off work for 2 weeks because it was on them. And they're everywhere, so you're just driving down the road with your windows undone and you can smell it, so you have to quickly like do up your windows. Like, I've never smelled it before in England, and it's a very distinct smell, and I could recognize it now. As soon as I sniff it, I'm like, oh my god, that's a skunk, 100%. Do up the windows. And they're so like, they're everywhere here, like honestly. We have 2 bunnies that live in our backyard. All their hairs we don't quite know, and that's what lives under my shed. If you watch me on Instagram with all of the footprints in the snow time, so that's what lives under my shed. We have seen a badger as well. Badgers are absolutely huge. We see them quite a lot in, well, early hours of the morning when I used to go to work at 5 AM. They used to be roaming around. It just informed me that they were raccoons. So I don't even know my own wildlife. We don't get bears down here. Well, to my knowledge, I haven't seen a bear. We don't get mooses. I'm really excited to go over to the other side and see all of that though, because apparently mooses are huge. Another thing that there is a lot of when you go hiking is snakes. Now, Jake absolutely hates snakes, but there is a lot of snakes when you go hiking. Of course, Jake knows. There's 15 different species of snake, and only one of them is venomous. So there's so many water snakes around the waterfalls, but they're not venomous. But only one of them is venomous, and it's the rattlesnake, so you will hear it if it's near you. But apart from that, they're not venomous, and on a lot of hikes you will see them. We see them, so it means you'll see them if you live this side of Ontario while you're hiking. Apart from that, I can't think of any more wildlife apart from, oh my goodness, I forgot one. So there's coyotes here. I physically haven't seen one, but we went round Jake's manager's house for some food, and she said she had them outside our house, and they're vicious. So that's kind of scary. Imagine seeing them while you go camping. That would be very scary. But I don't think I've missed anything else out apart from, no. So we do have wildlife, definitely different wildlife from the UK. Black squirrels, we don't have red squirrels, we have black squirrels. I think that's everything. What's your Timmy's order? So if you don't know what Timmy's is, it's Tim Hortons. It's a coffee brand over here. Well, a coffee shop. I say it's like the UK version of Costa Coffee. It's like a cheap Starbucks. But it's really good. We go to Timmy's, I said Costa. We go to Timmy's most morning on our days off vlogs if you watch them. In the winter, it's a pumpkin spice coffee. In the summer, for me, it's a caramel iced coffee. Jake, what's your order in Tim's? So Jake used to like double doubles, and then he said they're fattening, so he has with 1 milk and 1 sugar. Sweetener, sorry, and
iced coffee on a really hot day.
An iced coffee on a hot day. My go-to food is an oatmeal raisin cookie, but they've stopped doing that in some Tim Hortons, which is really sad. So Jake now has got me on the honey coolers. They're basically like little donuts. I'll get one in my day off vlog for Monday so you can see it. I'll get one today, so it'll be on my day off vlog on Monday. I have a favourite hockey team. Now, we love ice hockey. When we went to New York, we watched it there. When we went to Florida, we watched Tampa Bay. Oh my god, the atmosphere of a hockey game is incredible. And before we moved to Canada, we was like, we're gonna get season passes for the Maple Leafs. Like, we're so excited. For his birthday, I got him tickets to go watch the Ice Dogs, which is Niagara Ice Dogs against Hamilton Bulldogs. And then we went into lockdown and sport has finished, so we haven't been able to go and watch any live sports. But I think our team is, even though we live in Canada, Our chosen team is Tampa Bay Lightning.
Well, that's my team. I don't care about yours.
So no haters over here, but Tampa, that was an amazing game, to be fair. We went and watched it. There was like lightning strikes. It was awesome.
The coyotes spotted.
Let me show them. Guys, Jake just brought this over literally after talking about wildlife. So there's a Niagara 411. I was actually on their radio show, so if you live in Niagara and you've seen me, hi. But they just said that they seen a coyote on Geneva Street, which is the street that we had our Airbnb on 34 minutes ago.
Yeah.
There's me saying we don't have wildlife. That's scary. Here's the wildlife for us. It's the postman.
It's got post.
I hope so. What do you miss the most, family and friends not included? Food. If you don't count family and friends, swear off food. Nando's. I texted Jake yesterday actually saying I really am craving a Nando's. So he went and got Nando sauce and a chicken. Nando's, kebabs, sweet chili chicken, crispy wraps from McDonald's, curry sauce from McDonald's. My mum's lasagna, because over here they put some sort of ricotta cheese in it so it doesn't taste nice. My grandma's roast dinners. Food, I miss food. Do you regret your move to Canada? Not one bit. Even if someone said, could you have done it after the pandemic? No, I think what being here while the pandemic's on has made us work more and meet more friends and hold off on certain things, but I don't regret one bit. I don't regret when we moved here. I don't regret this place that we've moved to. I love St. Catharines, and yeah, I don't regret it. Moving on to my last question now, because I didn't realize this video is going to be so long. I apologize. And it is, how do you choose where to live in Canada? Like, how did you choose St. Catharines? I'm going to be real with you guys and say St. Catharines we knew nothing about, and it was just so lucky that we picked somewhere that we fell in love with. So I think it's definitely harder when you've got kids, because you don't want to move to somewhere and not like it, so you have to move, and then you don't like it and then move when you've got kids. But with me and Jake it would have been slightly easier, but we haven't moved. We came to St. Catharines, we stayed in St. Catharines. You have to think what you want out of Canada. So like me and Jake, we wanted to be near waterfalls, 100% for hikes. We wanted to be near a big city. We wanted to be near the border. Particularly we wanted to be over this side of North America, because our favorite destinations are New York and Florida. So we knew that we've already cut off half of Canada. We already knew that we needed to be like Ontario, anywhere in Ontario. Another thing is how much money you have. Definitely depends on where you can move. Some of our friends live the other side and they pay double the amount of rent than us, and minimum wage is the same. So definitely think that if you're thinking over in BC that you're going to have a lot more money. Alberta is definitely a popular choice for us. If we didn't choose St. Catharines, we would have probably chose Alberta. Then when we found our town, what we did is we wanted to be near a big city, but not in a big city because of money, and we don't like the city life as say. So we knew we wanted to be near Toronto. But we didn't want to be like living in there. So a little marker on Toronto, and then we moved town to town to town. So we moved down to Oakville. I fell in love with Oakville so much. So then what we did is we started looking on Facebook Marketplace. So if you go on Facebook Marketplace and change your location, you can look at houses there. So I started looking at houses in Oakville, and oh my goodness, because it was still so close to the city, it was so expensive, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. Then, so we sat, that was a no, put an X, moved down. Next place was Hamilton, and we was actually set on Hamilton, I would say right all the way till like a month before we moved. We knew it was a city, but not a huge city like Toronto. The prices were really cheap for homes. And the reason I actually got put off Hamilton is I went on YouTube and I was like, just typed in Hamilton to see if there's any vloggers in the area. And then loads of like industrial videos came up with like factories, and then I was like, this isn't us. Like, we don't want to be around factories and industrial city. We want to be like in like green, hiking, waterfalls. Even though Hamilton has so many waterfalls, the more I looked at it, I was like, this is not us. Like, no. So I put an X on that, and then that brought me down to St. Catharines. And I looked at St. Catharines. It's the Garden City. It's right next door to Niagara on the Lake, which is full of wineries. It's right next to Niagara Falls, which has all the touristy things like Clifton Hill. And it's 15 minutes away from the border to New York. And I was like, oh my God, this is the place. like, this is where I want to live. And we loved it here. So that's definitely something you need to think about when you're looking for a place to live in Canada. First, what you need to ask yourself, why are you moving to Canada? Are you moving for the lifestyle? If so, your lifestyle is because you want to be like outside, like outdoorsy. So you don't want to be in a big city. You want to be near like waterfalls like us and farmlands and stuff like that. Then you want to know like what part of Canada, like how much can you afford? Can you afford like the really expensive lifestyle in BC, or do you enjoy that lifestyle but you can't afford it? So that's Ontario. Do you enjoy like the country, and that'd be Alberta? Do you prefer like the thick snowstorms and go up north? Like, you need to think what you want out of Canada, and then get a map in front of you like I did and pin where you've looked up. Put an X if it's definitely a no, so you don't go back there, and then just circle all the ones. And that's how we did it. So yeah, I'm gonna go now because I've talked so much. I'm so sorry it took so long to update you guys, but just so much is going on. I also want to spend this time to say thank you so much for all the support. This time last year, we just hit 1,000 subscribers nearly, and I just can't believe how many people I've helped. The borders are back open as of 2 days ago for people to come over here on a permanent residency. If you don't already, go follow me on Instagram. I love hearing your stories. I love watching you guys make the journey from the UK to Canada. Before I moved to Canada, I couldn't find any YouTubers or vloggers that have done this, and I just hope I'm helping you guys out there. And yeah, thank you for following me on this journey, well, Jake and I on this journey. If you're new here, I'd love you to hit subscribe. And yeah, I will see you on Monday with another day off vlog. Bye.